We who don't understand and just think and assume feel that the enemy, the serpent, Lucifer, the devil, we feel that he actually looks, has this appearance. And when we have this in our mind, we feel, okay, well, he can't scare us because we're already hip to what he looks like. And the funny thing about this is not what the enemy looks like. We think that he has horns. We think he has a pitchfork. Think he has a tail. He's all red. We feel when we encounter the enemy, encounter the devil, encounter a demon, they're going to look like this. Media comes from the word medium, which comes from the word middle. There's somebody in the middle that's more important, because the person in the middle is what's feeding you the information. And when it gets to you, if the middleman gives you the wrong information, you're going to stay with that information. So any kind of media or middleman can give you the wrong information. That's why they call Christ our mediator. He's the one that has to stand between. Propitiation. So the media that you're watching can give you the wrong impression and make you think that this is what the devil looks like. Let's break this down. The pitchfork is a trident. A trident is a weapon that's used from a water god. Hence, call him the serpent, call him a leviathan, a sea serpent sometimes. Tri meaning three points on it. The horn comes from the book of Daniel. When it's talking about the horn coming up, it's talking about the enemy rising up, and the horn represents powers. Daniel 7:23, thus he said, the fourth beast will be a fourth kingdom on the earth, which will be different from all the other kingdoms, and will devour the whole earth, and tread down and crush it. As for the 10 horns out of the kingdom, 10 kings will arise, and another will rise after them. He will be different from all the previous ones and will subdue 3 kings. I'm putting this in simplicity and I'm breaking it down in layman's terms, simple as possible. The horn represents power, and it represents someone that's high up. That's why I talked about the 10 horns, and one that had a bigger horn or a stronger horn than the rest of them subdued 3 kings, talking about the Antichrist. That's the point of the horns. The tail, we know a snake has a tail, a dragon has a tail, so you're going to always see the tail. We'll see in Revelation chapter 12 verse 3 says, then another sign appeared in heaven, behold, a great red dragon having 7 heads. Oh, there go them horns again. And 10 horns, and on his head were 7 diadems. And his tail swept away a third of the stars of heaven. These are the third of the angels that his tail swept. These are the ones that he persuaded that are being used right now. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels is waging war with the dragon. The dragon and his angels waged war. We don't see God fighting. We see the angels fighting against Satan and his angels. And they were not strong enough, and there were no longer a place found for them in heaven. And the great dragon was thrown down, the serpent of old, who was called the devil and Satan, who deceives the whole world. He was thrown down to the earth, and his angels were thrown down with him. Different types of faith, different religion, different cultures, all put together and have a picture and depicting how the devil looks like, this picture. And the reason why I want us to understand this is because if you think that the devil looks like this, you are sadly mistaken. Anything that happens and the enemy is behind it, he's not going to rear, as we say, his ugly head. And he doesn't have an ugly head to rear. But as scripture reads, and who case the God of this world has blinded the minds of the unbelievers, so that they may not see the light of the gospel of glory of Christ, who is the image of God. 2 Corinthians 11:4. No wonder, for even Satan disguised himself as an angel of light. Angel of light meaning an angel of knowledge, an angel that has understanding, but disguise himself. Nothing is going to come at you looking ugly, deformed, and make you think that you're going to be able to follow it. That the enemy has to use to get to you because he wants your soul. The soul means will, mind, and emotion. That's the only thing that God gave us, and that's the free will. So if he gave us free will, the person that gave us the will made it that we can freely not even follow the one that gave us the will. I have a will to follow God, and I have a will that I don't want to follow God. But he gave me this free will. So my body is everything that's bringing stuff in through my flesh. My soul is my will. That means now I have to follow what I want to follow follow what God is telling me to follow, or follow what's good to my eyes. And all of this goes back to my spirit, my subconscious, the heart, the spirit man. So if all of this is happening and all of this is playing in my life, the spiritual warfare part is the part that the enemy is trying to do whatever he can to blind you, to make you think he doesn't exist, or make you think it's that person doing that and he has no working behind it. If I can get you to think it's the person and not understand the person is the vehicle and it's more important about the driver than the vehicle, if you believe in the vehicle or the person, the shell, and you stay mad at the shell, you are going to miss what's driving the shell. So if you miss that, that means that whatever is driving that person, that's what's going to continue to take control. So what you first have to catch is that the enemy can't do anything without a body. This is what's missed all the time.